We have an update. Demian Maia will grapple against George St-Pierre December 14th for the UFC Fight Pass Invitational 6. Now, we have not even heard a roster or headliners for the UFC Fight Pass Invitational 5. And I mean, that's going to creep up. This one's in December, so I imagine in 2 months or so, there's going to be another one. I've heard nothing on that one just because the focus is on GSP right now. The focus is on December. But we do have an entire Fight Pass Invitational card coming up, number 5, soon here. And we haven't even heard who's headlining that one. So excited for that. Whether you're a jiu-jitsu fan or not, it's cool because there's usually some names who are in the UFC on those cards. It's really cool to see those quiet jiu-jitsu fans really come to support either their friends competing, their favorite athletes in the sport competing, and it's a pretty cool tournament format. I like the EBI rules and how they mix them in there as well. We aren't sure what the rules are yet, like if it's going to be just the same rule set that we see anyways up and down the event, tournament, and, you know, even in some of the featured fights. Like, for example, is it going to be the same rule set as we saw Glover Teixeira, Anthony Smith? I think we're going to see a more traditional, just 3-round grappling match. Whoever's more aggressive or who scores submission attempts wins the match. I think that's what we'll see. I don't think there's going to be any custom rules. I don't think they're going to go by the EBI rules that we see on those events, but the rules have not been laid out yet. They have not been officially set yet. And again, it's just very interesting that we haven't heard any rumblings of the 5th event coming up here. You'd think that with a wave of news and people searching about the UFC Fight Pass Invitational right now, when the news that George St-Pierre was going to compete at the 6th one in December, and now with the recent wave of people looking it up because of the announcement of Demian Maia being his opponent, you'd think that at least tease us with one of the matchups that's going to be on the 5th event, or maybe they just have not got it together yet because they still have time. Maybe it's not hard to bring athletes together for these events now, given how many people are watching it. Like, we got hundreds of people on this channel watching it. It's absolutely insane. George St-Pierre, this is his first grappling match, event, and or tournament since his appearance at ADCC in 2005. Look, Demian Maia, he's getting up there in age as well, folks. Okay, well, we'll take a look at him in pro MMA. 2-time title contender, if I'm not mistaken, 28-11 record in MMA. And, you know, the guy, I don't want to say his striking was as bad as Paul Craig, but let's just say jiu-jitsu was his game. 45 years of age right now. It's crazy. 3 KO, 2 KO, 14 submissions, 11 decisions. A very respectable career, 22-11. From 2007 to 2021, he fought in the UFC. And he's now just been kind of picking apart ex-MMA guys in grappling, which is why I'm a little scared, to be perfectly honest. He beat Benson Henderson. He beat Cowboy Alex Oliveira. And he lost his last 2 fights against Bilal Muhammad and Gilbert Burns in the UFC. But like, look at this career. And he's put together some awesome win streaks as well. Look at some of the names in this, throughout this. He beat Carlos Condit, Jorge Masvidal, Matt Brown, Neil Magny, Gunnar Nelson, all when everyone was pretty young. And the losses, I mean, Roy McDonald, Jake Shield. Jake Shield was, I think at that time, about to fight for a title or just had. Beat John Fitch, was always a hard opponent. John Fitch is such a relentless pressure wrestler. Beat Kendall Grove when Kendall Grove was in his prime. Beat Chael Sonnen, Nate Quarry, Jason McDonald, Ed Herman. Like, those are good wins. Those are good wins. And to say he's just a good grappler is a slap in the face to Demian Maia. He's an excellent grappler. 5-time jiu-jitsu world champion and an ADCC championship to his name as well. Despite Maia's age, I think this is going to be a real tough test for George St-Pierre. I think it's way more of a test than that of a Nick Diaz that I suggested before, but I think they would have been able to sell the event way more with the Nick Diaz rematch story versus, 2 really humble martial artists in Demian Maia and George St-Pierre going at it. However, George St-Pierre coming back to compete in anything, I mean, he's going to get eyes north and south of the border. Hell, he's going to get eyes globally on this event. GSP is in tremendous shape. I imagine he's probably in better shape than that of a Demian Maia right now. I was just watching him do like freaking double backflips on his TikTok. I think he could be the stronger fighter in this match, but I think this is a big test for him. Demian Maia is just picking apart ex-MMA fighters in grappling left, right, and center. Let me know your predictions. Comment your predictions as well.